Hi everyone, my name is Xavier. I work for Observador. This is a Portuguese news group, and we have a website, we have subscriptions, and we have a radio. So let me talk to you a little bit about our audio journey. So the whole organization launched in 2014 initially, and we launched as a digital-only organization. Our idea was to disrupt the market that was still very paper-oriented and very legacy in that way. We quickly reached a very big audience, but of course we don't hate paper. We just thought we use paper at the right moment, the right time. So 2 years later we launched a very niche recurring magazine offering. 2 years after that we decided it was time to lock our content a little bit. Our audience was maturing, and so we started our subscriptions program, which today accounts for just over 20% of our revenue. 2 years after that, what's the next ambition? So this was, of course, the time of everyone's doing audio. Audio is the future. And we thought we don't want to do a half bet on this, because we heard about a lot of publishers who did a little bit of audio, but it was never a real thing. So we said, let's go all in. How does this look like if we want to go all in on audio? So the first thing that was clear for us is digital audio is, of course, the future, but it is not the present yet. And if you want to reach people in their cars while they're commuting, you need FM radio, good old school FM radio. So we did a big bet in multiple fronts. Luckily, at the time, we also were awarded with the EMEA fund, which helped us finance this operation, especially when it comes to consuming audio online. And together with this, we managed to launch a radio. So we officially became a website, from a website to a group. We launched a 24/7 talk radio. Even at 2 a.m. you tune in and you get a news update. This grew very quickly. We knew from the beginning that we wanted to be a completely integrated operation. So we have one newsroom that is coordinated between audio and text. There are no two separate editors for audio and text. The website experience is the same. Consumers can interchange between audio and text all the time. This allowed us to launch a massive offering of podcasts, very niche, diversified topics, a large number of podcasts that really found their audience very quickly. And key to this offering, of course, is also from the beginning, both the newsroom and the technical thinking of this, being prepared for immediacy. You hear something on the radio, and seconds later you have it on demand available on all platforms. This is also a way to try to disrupt the typical radio approach. So how did this go? Audience grew very well, very fast, and they're still growing. So live radio, both FM and online live radio, works very well, and we have some old school metrics and some modern metrics on the respective fronts that prove this to us. Podcast, the same thing. We're currently in the top featured podcasts, and we have a growing brand recognition as being the go-to place for high-quality podcasts in Portugal. So that's really good to see. But of course, before that slide, skip one. This even led us to expand the studios. So we expanded our studios, we doubled down on our bet, and we added visual radio. So we live stream and have on-demand programming available on YouTube. So the big question, of course, is revenue. So how did this work on the revenue front? The live revenue figured itself out pretty quickly because we tapped into legacy systems. So ad buyers use a central platform from radio, and we sort of feed the same ads to live. So that was no big surprise. Subscriber revenue, unfortunately, is something that we haven't managed to explore yet. I mean, you know how diversified the platforms are in podcast consumption. Apple launched an offering last year, but it's only for Apple Podcasts yet. So podcast ad revenue is subdivided in two things. One is it's elusive, so we haven't found it yet, and that it breaks down into two problems. The first problem is the direct ad revenue. At least in Portugal, the experience we have, and I'd love to hear about this from other people, there seems to be a certain shyness from advertisers because it's something new and the metrics are different and they are split between different platforms. So I think there's a certain shyness there that just doesn't manage us to get the traction we thought we would get, and this spills over to programmatic advertising too. So I feel, again, platforms are young, there's no big historic of metrics that the advertisers feel comfortable with, and so this is leaving us scratching our heads a little bit. In Portuguese, for this occasion, we would say "Quem corre por gosto não cansa," which roughly translated would mean the one who runs out of pleasure marathons does not get tired. And we have the audience, we have the quality content, so I think we just need to be a bit more patient, and we'll get the revenue as the market adapts, but I'd love to hear from other people about this. Thank you.